What if I told you that right now there might be someone in your life secretly imagining being closer to you and you don't even know it? Men aren't always direct with their feelings, but their actions, they give them away. If you know what signs to look for, you'll spot when a guy's thoughts are centered on you, even if he's trying to keep it hidden. In this video, I'm going to share 9 hidden signs he's secretly fantasizing about you. Some of them are so subtle you've probably brushed them off before. But once you notice them, it'll change the way you see his behavior forever. By the way, if you're enjoying this breakdown, make sure you stick around till the end, because I'll share the one sign that almost no one talks about, but it's the clearest giveaway of all. Sign 1. His eyes give it away. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul, and when it comes to attraction, that couldn't be more true. Here's the thing, most men are not very good at hiding how they feel when their emotions are written all over their face. You can hear what they say, but their eyes will almost always reveal the truth. When a man is secretly drawn to you, he looks at you differently. It's not the quick, polite glance you'd get from a stranger in the street. It's a gaze that lingers. It's his eyes following you a second longer than necessary, like he's trying to memorize what he sees. And sometimes, he doesn't even realize he's doing it. It's instinctive. Now here's where it gets fascinating. Our eyes can actually change when we feel a strong pull towards someone. Research shows that pupils widen when we're excited or deeply interested in something or someone. And unlike a smile or a compliment, you can't fake this. He can try to play it cool, but his nervous system has other plans. His pupils expand because his brain is literally saying, pay attention to her. So what does this mean for you? Let's say you walk into a room and you catch him looking at you. His eyes lock on, and for a brief moment, it feels like the rest of the world disappears. That's not random. That's focus. That's intensity. Even if he quickly looks away, that split-second stare is a powerful clue. And it's not just about how long he looks, it's how he looks. Does his face soften when he sees you? Do his eyes seem brighter, more alert, almost like they light up in your presence? Those are micro-reactions his body can't hide. Think about it this way. Most of us can control our words. We can control whether we smile or even what we say. But controlling your eyes? Almost impossible. If his gaze keeps returning to you in a crowded space, or you notice he scans the room but always ends up back at you, that's a giveaway. The beauty of this sign is that it's honest. He doesn't have to confess anything. He doesn't need to make a move. His eyes are already telling the story. So the next time you're wondering if he secretly thinks about you more than he lets on, watch his eyes. They'll speak before he ever does. Martial size 2. He finds excuses to touch you. When someone is secretly drawn to you, one of the most telling clues is in the small, seemingly innocent touches. And here's the thing. You can tell a lot about how someone feels by noticing the ways they look for little excuses to bridge that physical gap. Now, I'm not talking about anything over the top or inappropriate. In fact, the opposite is true. These touches are subtle, light, almost casual, but behind them is something much deeper. When a man feels a strong pull toward you, his mind often races ahead of his words. He may not be ready to say how he feels, but his body language starts speaking for him. So what does this look like? Maybe he brushes a bit of lint off your sweater, or he reaches out to adjust your necklace. Perhaps he leans close to gently move a strand of hair from your face. These gestures seem small, almost too small to notice, but they're powerful clues, because they show he's looking for a reason, any reason, to create contact. Here's why this matters. Touch is one of the most basic human ways of building connection. We're wired to feel closer to people through touch, and when a man is secretly interested, he often can't help but seek out these opportunities. It might be a playful nudge on the arm when he's joking with you, a light tap on your shoulder to get your attention, or even guiding you through a doorway with a hand at your back. Each of these little touches sends the same message: I want to be near you. But here's the part most people miss. It's not just the touch itself, it's how he reacts afterward. Does he smile? Does he hold that moment just a little longer than necessary? Does he look for your reaction, almost as if testing the waters? Those small cues reveal what's going on underneath the surface. And remember, these touches aren't random. They're calculated in a way that feels natural. He's not barging into your space. He's looking for safe, light-hearted ways to create a sense of closeness. It's his way of saying what he might not yet have the courage to put into words. So the next time you notice him finding little excuses to touch you, even the kind that seem casual, pay attention. Chances are, it's not about the lint on your jacket or the hair in your face. It's about him wanting that moment of connection, because deep down, you're already on his mind more than he'd ever admit. 3. He flirts with you. Flirting is one of the clearest signals of hidden interest, but here's the truth. It doesn't always look like what you see in movies. In real life, it can be subtle, playful, even awkward at times. And that's exactly why it's such a strong clue that he may be secretly fantasizing about you. When a man feels a strong pull towards someone, he often can't keep it completely inside. That attraction spills out into his behavior, even if he tries to cover it up. And most of the time, the way it shows up is through flirting. So what does this actually look like? For some men, it's obvious. Playful teasing, witty banter, or light-hearted jokes designed to make you laugh. For others, especially the quieter or more reserved types, it can be more understated. He might find ways to compliment you not just on your appearance, but on the things he notices about you that others might overlook. Maybe he admires how you handle a situation, or he highlights something unique about your personality. That's not random. That's focus. The core of flirting is attention. When someone flirts with you, what they're really saying is, you stand out, I see you, and I want you to see me too. It's about pulling you into their orbit, even in small playful ways. And here's the interesting part. Flirting isn't always smooth. In fact, it often isn't. Sometimes he might stumble over his words or laugh a little too hard at your joke. He might even tease you clumsily, almost as if he's testing what kind of reaction he'll get. That awkwardness, that's not a lack of interest. It's usually the opposite. It's nervous energy showing up because he cares how you respond. Now think about this. If he makes the effort to engage you in longer conversations, asks follow-up questions, or seems extra alert when you're speaking, that's flirting too. It's his way of saying, I want to keep this connection alive. Even the small things, like leaning in when you talk, smiling more around you, or giving you his full attention, are subtle forms of flirting. At its heart, flirting is about creating spark. It's about adding energy to an interaction and leaving you wondering just a little bit about his intentions. And if you catch him consistently doing this with you, while maybe not showing the same behavior with others, that's a powerful sign. So pay attention to the playful comments, the compliments, the way he lights up when you laugh. Flirting is rarely an accident. It's his way of letting pieces of his feelings slip through, hoping you'll notice, even if he's not ready to say it out loud. Sign 4. You catch him checking you out. One of the most revealing signs that a man is secretly imagining being closer to you is how often his eyes wander in your direction. And here's the thing, guys are naturally visual. When they're interested, it's almost impossible for them not to look. They might think they're being subtle, but if you pay attention, you'll notice the signs. Think about this. You're in the same room, and you suddenly feel that pull. You just know someone's watching you. You glance up and there he is, quickly looking away, pretending to check his phone, or acting as if he was scanning the room. That's not coincidence. That's him sneaking glances because he can't resist. Now here's the difference between a polite look and something deeper. A polite look is quick and casual, the kind you'd give anyone out of courtesy. But when he's secretly drawn to you, his gaze lingers. Even if it's just for a second longer, you'll feel it. It's more focused, more intentional, like he's taking a mental snapshot of you. What's even more telling is where his attention goes. Is he watching your expressions when you laugh? Is he observing how you move, how you interact with others? Those little details show that his interest goes beyond surface level. It's not just about noticing you. Sometimes you'll notice his timing. He looks at you when he thinks you're not paying attention, maybe when you're busy talking to someone else or when you're across the room. But here's the catch: sooner or later, you'll catch him in the act. And that quick moment of eye contact, followed by him looking away with a smile, is one of the clearest giveaways. There's also the repeat glance. He doesn't just look once, he keeps coming back. Maybe during a group conversation, his eyes return to you more than anyone else. Or when you enter a space, he instinctively notices right away. These repeated checks aren't accidental. They're habits formed by attraction. And here's what makes this so powerful. Most people can control what they say. They can even control their body language to some extent. But controlling where your eyes naturally go, that's almost impossible. Our attention is drawn to what matters most to us. So the next time you feel like someone's watching you, pay attention. If you catch him checking you out, especially if it happens more than once, it's not random curiosity. It's his way of silently telling you, I notice you. I'm drawn to you. You're on my mind more than you realize. Side 5. He makes suggestive jokes. Humor is one of the safest ways people reveal their feelings without taking too big a risk. And when a man is secretly drawn to you, his attraction often slips out through little jokes, playful comments, or teasing remarks. On the surface, it looks like he's just being funny, but underneath, there's usually more going on. Here's why. Jokes allow him to test the waters. Instead of coming out and directly saying how he feels, which can feel scary or vulnerable, he'll throw something playful into the conversation. That way, if you laugh or respond positively, he gets encouragement. If you don't, he can always laugh it off as, I was just kidding. It's his way of protecting himself while still letting bits of his interest show. So what does this look like? Maybe he teases you about always looking good, about having too many admirers, or about being trouble in disguise. These comments might sound light-hearted, but there's meaning tucked inside them. They're little hints that he's been thinking about you in a way that goes beyond friendship. Other times he might joke about the two of you together in the future. Things like, we'd make a great team, or careful, you're going to spoil me if you keep that up. Again, it sounds playful, but really he's planting the idea of the two of you being more connected. Pay attention to how often these jokes happen and how specific they are. The more tailored his teasing is to you, the stronger the clue. For example, if he notices your habits or quirks and turns them into little jokes, it shows he's paying close attention. And when humor is focused on you, it usually means you're on his mind more than he lets on. Another detail worth noticing is his reaction afterward. Does he watch to see how you respond? Does he smile or laugh a little nervously, almost as if he's hoping you'll catch the hidden meaning? That reaction is a giveaway. It shows that the joke wasn't random. It mattered to him. At the end of the day, humor is connection. When someone makes you laugh, you drop your guard, you relax, and you feel closer. So if a man consistently uses playful jokes with you, especially ones that carry a hint of personal meaning, it's not just comedy. It's communication. It's his way of slipping the truth into laughter, hoping you'll feel the spark without him having to spell it out. So next time he makes a suggestive joke, don't just laugh it off. Ask yourself, what's he really trying to say beneath the humor? Chances are, it's more honest than he'd ever dare to admit out loud. 6. He drifts off into his own little world. Have you ever been in the middle of a conversation with someone and suddenly noticed that their focus slips? Their eyes soften, their smile lingers, and for a moment it feels like they're not entirely present. If this happens with a man around you, it could be one of the clearest signs that he's secretly imagining more than he's willing to say out loud. Here's why. When someone is truly captivated by you, their mind sometimes runs ahead of the conversation. He might be listening, but part of him is so caught up in the moment, in your presence, that he zones out. His attention isn't drifting away from you, It's actually diving deeper into you. You'll notice this in little ways. Maybe he stares a second too long, almost like he's lost in thought. Maybe he forgets what he was about to say, stumbling over his words because his brain just got sidetracked. Or perhaps he pauses mid-conversation, smiling to himself, as if a private thought just crossed his mind. These are the kinds of moments where attraction leaks through without words. Now let's be clear. There's a big difference between someone who's distracted because they're bored and someone who's distracted because they're fascinated. If he's disengaged, he'll avoid eye contact, fidget with his phone, or look around the room. But if he's secretly thinking about you, his body language will tell another story. His gaze will stay anchored on you, his smile will reappear at odd moments, and when he snaps back to the conversation, he'll look eager to rejoin. It's almost like catching someone daydreaming. We've all had those moments where our mind drifts into a little fantasy, and we forget for a second where we are. That dreamy look in his eyes, that quiet pause, is him slipping into his own little world, one where you play a starring role. What makes this sign so powerful is how unplanned it is. He can control his words. He can try to keep his feelings under wraps, but drifting off into thought, that's instinct. It's his imagination taking over in real time. So if you catch him staring, smiling faintly, or zoning out when you're around, don't mistake it for disinterest. More often than not, it's the opposite. It means you've captured his attention so strongly that, for a moment, he couldn't help but get lost in the thought of you. Sign 7. He tries to act more manly around you. One of the most fascinating things about attraction is how it changes behavior. When a man is secretly drawn to you, you may notice him shift into what I call his best version mode. Suddenly his voice gets a little deeper, he stands a little taller, or he shows off in small ways he doesn't normally do around others. Why? Because deep down he wants to impress you. This is more than just vanity, it's biology. Across the animal kingdom, males put on displays to attract a mate. Birds puff up their feathers, lions show dominance, and in the human world, men often signal their masculinity. When he's around you, his protective, confident, and capable side kicks in. It's not forced, it's instinct. So what does this look like in everyday life? Maybe he offers to carry something heavy for you, even if you didn't ask. Or perhaps he subtly flexes when lifting things, standing a little straighter than usual. You might notice him lowering his tone of voice, cracking his knuckles, or adjusting his posture the moment you step into the room. These are unconscious attempts to show strength and capability, but it's not only physical. Acting manly can also mean stepping into the role of protector or problem solver. Maybe he insists on walking you to your car, checks that you're comfortable, or jumps in quickly when something needs fixing. These small gestures are his way of saying, I want you to feel safe with me. I want to be someone you can rely on. Now here's what's important. He doesn't usually do these things in a showy, obvious way. Most of the time it's subtle. He's not standing in the middle of the room yelling, look at me. Instead, he's quietly trying to be the guy who rises to the occasion, the one who looks strong, dependable, and attentive in your eyes. And here's the kicker. If you notice this behavior only around you, it's a huge sign. If he suddenly becomes more confident, more protective, or more focused when you're nearby, it means you triggered that shift. You made him want to step into his most masculine self. At the end of the day, men want to feel like they bring value, like they matter, like they can step up for someone who inspires them. So if he acts a little more manly, a little more heroic, or a little more protective around you, it's not random. It's his way of showing he cares, even if he's not ready to say it directly. End of poem. Catch Me Casually mentions the future with you. When a man is secretly fantasizing about you, one of the clearest signs often slips out in conversation. He casually includes you in his future. And it doesn't have to be dramatic. He doesn't have to sit you down and declare, I see us together 5 years from now. It's usually much subtler than that. But those little slip-ups, They say a lot. Maybe he talks about an upcoming concert and says, "We should go." Or he mentions a new restaurant in town and casually adds, "I'll take you there one day." Sometimes it's even more indirect, like joking about where you'd both retire, how you'd survive on a road trip, or what kind of house would suit you best. These might sound like playful comments on the surface, but underneath they're hints that he's picturing you by his side. Why does this matter? Because men don't casually attach people to their future unless they're genuinely interested. If he didn't care, his plans would be solo. His some days wouldn't include you. But when he starts saying we instead of me, that's his imagination spilling out. What's powerful here is how natural it often feels. He's not trying to make a grand promise. In fact, he might not even realize how much he's revealing. But in his mind, you're already a part of his vision of what's ahead. And those little comments are his way of testing the waters, seeing how you respond without putting himself too far out there. Think of it like this. When someone is just passing time with you, the conversation stays in the present. But when someone sees potential with you, the conversation leans forward. It stretches beyond today, beyond tomorrow, and into what's possible. That's exactly what's happening when he brings up the future with you. Here's the key. Pay attention to how consistent it is. A one-off comment could be nothing, but if he keeps weaving you into his stories about next month, next year, or someday, it's a pretty strong clue. It means you're not just someone he enjoys in the moment, you're someone he's mentally carrying with him into what comes next. So the next time he jokes about taking you on a trip, tries to rope you into his future plans, or drops a casual "we" when talking about life ahead, don't dismiss it. That's not just conversation, it's attraction, spilling into the way he envisions his life. And it means deep down he doesn't just see you now, he sees you later too. Sometimes, the clearest signs of what a man feels don't come from him at all, they come from the people around him. Friends can be surprisingly revealing. Why? Because when a guy is secretly fantasizing about you, his friends usually notice before he ever admits it. And often they can't resist teasing him about it.